Here's our Blender workshop. All right, so what is Blender? First of all, it is a free and open source 3D computer graphics software. You can make 3D models, which you can use to animate or visual effects or use those models to 3D print stuff. It's very cool. It's very powerful for it being free. And if you haven't seen this movie, watch it after this meeting. It is so good. It won an Oscar and it was made on Blender. However, Blender is scary. You open it up and you see this and you're like, what the hell is going on? Well, this main area here is your 3D viewport. It's, what you see. You bring in an object. It's what's there. Next is the object and edit modes. You'll go up there to click between object and edit mode. We'll go more into that. This is a scene collection, basically, of all of your stuff. You have the cube here. You have your light there. You have your camera there. What object you add in will be, you can see it in the scene collection properties. Those are just, I guess, extra materials. Like you can, it's where you go to color your objects, or how to export an animation, or various other editing such as modifiers. Again, we'll go into that in a second. And this is the timeline if you want for animation. Next, the Blender hotkeys. It sucks. It's a different language. It's hell. It's a lot. However, you can ignore that. We'll go through the basic stuff that you need to know first. Again, you can just look up Blender hotkey guys online and you'll find stuff like that. It's scary at first, but you can do it, guys. But let's go over some basics on how to navigate Blender.
Yeah, so if you have a mouse, it makes navigating Blender a lot easier. To zoom in and out, you can use the mouse scroll wheel. So you use the scroll, so up here. And if you're using a mouse pad, you can pinch with 2 fingers to how you normally zoom in and zoom out. To look around, you can click on the scroll wheel if that's something that your mouse can do, and then move it around, and then you can look around, but you're in the same, you're looking at the same thing, or in the same position. If you're using the mouse pad, you can use 2 fingers and look around that way. To pan and move around, you can use mouse while holding shift. Use the long click for the scroll wheel, so you hold on to the shift and the click of the scroll wheel. On the mouse pad, you can use shift and 2 fingers to move around.
Yeah, okay. I'm gonna go over some important interface notes to get you started. So there's edit and object mode. So then in edit mode, obviously you're editing your object. So it's important to note that there's 3 sub modes in edit mode, and it's vertice, edge, and face, which you can switch to between pressing 1, 2, and 3. So it's pretty self-explanatory. Vertice lets you edit the edge, or the vertice, edge, the edge, and then face, the face. And then some important tools. These are basic, but you can do a lot just with knowing these. So it's move, rotate, scale, which is GRS. They're all pretty intuitive except for move is G for some reason. So it's kind of like grabbing is how I think of it. And then also extrude, which extrudes a part of the object. So it's E. Inset I. Bevel, which will kind of round the side of an object. And then loop cuts, which will cut into an object. So some basics for starting to model. So obviously you're going to want an object. So to generate an object, you can press either that little icon, or I recommend you press Shift A, because it'll give you a lot more options. Nice menu. But I recommend starting with an object that would best support what you're trying to make. So if you're trying to make a lamppost, you should make a cylinder. But yeah, and you can combine objects using Control J. And then this kind of goes over what I was saying with visuals. So loop cuts makes a cut. Extrude extrudes a part of the object. Inset, you can kind of cut a little hole and then extrude inwards to make a hole in the object. And then bevel rounds the side of it. And then yeah, A to select all, and then hold shift and click to select multiple sides of things. And then there's also this thing called modifiers. So modifiers are kind of like extra special ways to like edit your objects, and there's a lot of them. But we're gonna go over a few like just basic modifiers, and you can find it under the blue wrench on the side of the properties tab. Some really helpful ones are array, which repeats objects in a line, mirror, which mirrors like the edits you make across an axis, subdivision surface, which adds more faces. So like it kind of made the cube into like a sphere. And then solidify makes an object thicker. And then there's also materials. That's found under like that red beach ball looking icon. So it changes the surface appearance of an object. So you can make your object look, like it can look metallic if you up the metallic scale and then lower the roughness. There's a lot of different ways you can change the material of like the surface. You can do even more if you go into the shading workspace, which we're not going to go into too much right now. But there's a lot you can do with it. So yeah.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go over lighting stuff. So to see lighting, you have to switch to the viewport shading mode at the top. This is what it looks like. It's the one on the very right. It shows the lighting of the scene and also makes some things easier to see for this presentation. It's the rendered viewport shading. So for some camera basics, this is what a camera looks like in the rendered mode. So you can see from the camera's perspective by clicking on this icon, the camera icon, so that you can see how it's going to look when you render it. So controlling the camera, you can like move it around as an object like this, but it's kind of hard to tell when you do that how the render is going to look because you can't see like from it. So to move by the camera perspective, to move the camera by looking at the perspective, you can toggle the camera to view thing in the view box. I'll show you how that looks. So like here, you can see I can't tell what the camera's seeing, but if I click up here, view, and then camera to view, I'll be able to move the camera around just by like how I normally move in the 3D workspace. And the camera will follow like my perspective and move the camera as I see it. So that's the easiest way to do it, in my opinion. Here's some lighting basics. So when rendering, you need lights in order to see. When you start a project, the default is a point light, so 1 point light, but normally when you render that, it's like really dark. I tend to use like a lot of lighting. You can take inspiration from like film 3-point lighting and just like surround it kind of, and then play with it to see how it looks. To add a light, you can do the Shift A and then add a light type. I'll go over those in a second. And then if you want to change like a light into a different kind of light, you can go into the data section of properties, and then you'll be able to see it. So here's what a point light looks like, and then this is what it looks like in the other option, like area workspace. It's the default light. It can be customized. You can change the color, the exposure, the radius, and you can change if it sees shadows or not. It's 1 point, so it's like very basic. You can use the sun light. It's a really strong light. It reaches really far and it can change direction. When you add the sun, a lot of the time it's like super exposed, so it's like completely white, so you have to like lower the exposure or like move it away. But yeah. Here's a spotlight. This one's kind of my favorite. It's like a circle, it's a spotlight. You can change the direction, and you can change how it blends and the sharpness of it in the blend here, and then you can like move around with the two balls there, and then change how close and how big the spotlight is going to be. Yeah, and then there's area light. I haven't used this one very much, but it focuses on a specific area. Like, see how the focus is like tied to the center here? And when I move it around by using grab, it'll follow this object. Yeah. To showcase your work, you can render an image. So you go to render at the top, render image, and then it'll load. So you'll have to wait until it's finished loading, and then you save as, and then you save it as an image or whatever else you want to do. You can do animations too, PNGs and stuff. Yeah.
Oh yeah, and here are each of our examples. Here are my examples. These I can quickly go over to this link here. So this, well, we'll tell you about this class in a second. Janet and I have took it, but here are just some of my models that I've made in 20 minutes. It was a pain, but we did it. Like, which one do I like? I like the gas can, is pretty cool. I don't know why, but I like it a lot. So here's my cool little gas can.
I like it too.
Thank you. And here's Jake the dog. The theme was dog, so I'm like, I don't want to make just any other regular dog. I gotta make Jake. And then I kind of like treasure chest. Oh yeah, and with the materials, you can, oh yeah, like Olivia said, you can make it like shiny. Like I made the coins here really shiny and metallic, which is cool. Let me go back. And I made a video game. Or for this class, you'll have to make a video game using the assets that you made in Blender. So here are my really silly assets. And I did not make the pyramid head model, but I had to animate it. Not same with the daisy. And this one I made, it's supposed to be me. Yeah.
Yeah. So I've really only done one Blender project because I'm doing it for one of my studios right now. It's just a building. It's not complete, but I don't know. I've dabbled a bit. So.
And you learned it from using LinkedIn Learning.
Yes, I learned it from LinkedIn Learning and a lot of YouTube tutorials. So very learnable.
I also took the EECS class. Here are some of my examples. I really like playing with lighting. I use a lot of lights. And I also like animating. So that this is from my game project. This is Dippy. Here are some. This is from a 3D animation that I did. It's a hybrid, so I did 3D backgrounds and then 2D animation on top of it, which is something that you can do. And I used a lot of I played a lot with animating lights, so moving them around and also changing the colors of them, making them go dim and then out and that kind of thing. These are all my models. Here's some animations. I have a link to my video, but I'm not gonna show it.
It's cute.
You can look it up.
Later, we shall show everyone.
Okay.
And so here's the class we were talking about, EECS 298. You can check more of it on the website, but it's taught by Professor Yarger, who's the game dev professor here, and he's really cool. It's 4 credits, fall semester. And don't worry, you don't need to know programming or art or any of that. No prereqs. Don't worry. It was a lot of work, but we learned a lot. Did you learn a lot?
Yeah.
Yes, sirree. Yeah. I feel like it did really help me with everything. But again, you can also use the LinkedIn tutorial and YouTube. You can find anything on YouTube. There are so many tutorials on YouTube.
And this also counts for a stamp studio credit, right?
Potentially.
Potentially.
It shows up on my transcript thing, but I don't. I have to check on that.
I think I use it as an academic or studio or academic. I'm not sure, but I think for if there's any engineering majors here, I know it can count for some other art credit that you need as an engineer. I forgot something like that, but you could. Yes. So yeah, it's a very cool, versatile class and credits. And now it's time to make the donut. I'll show you all how to make a very rough low poly donut. Oh yeah, you can also download Blender on Steam. I don't know why. I feel like it's pretty cool.
Is it better that way or
Personally, I like it better because it updates automatically. So here it is. Here's Blender. I got my mouse and I'm pressing on the scroll button to move the screen around. Yeah, the torus. However, this doesn't look very donut-y. How do I change that? So you press what I did here, And you can adjust like the radius, like major radius, you can make it very wide or small. And the minor radius, you can, I guess, make it thicker or thin. If you really want a tiny donut like that, sure. I would say, yeah, that looks pretty donut. Yum. I want to make it a bit bigger, so I'm pressing G to move. Pressing G to move. Do you want me to restart? Okay. I'm crying. All right. So you open it up. You see this. This is just your default setup. Press A. And now you've selected everything. Now press X and press delete. So now you have a blank canvas. Now press Shift and A and go to Mesh and go down to Torus. And now you have summoned your torus. And as I said, you can mess with the, I guess with the settings here. Shape the donut however you like.
No settings.
At the bottom left, where it says add torus, you click that.
Wait, you clicked off. Okay, how do I go? You can delete it and then restart.
Yeah,
That's
it's really annoying. Like if I just click off and he's like, oh no, I want to change it, just.
Okay.
All right, next step. We want to give you guys time to make your own stuff. So you see all the separate faces and whatever. That doesn't look very cool. I guess if that's what you want it to be, but to make it more donut-y or more low poly, I know what the button is for when you have a trackpad, but you press right click on the object and press shade smooth.
If you want to right click on a map, you can use 2 fingers and click on it.
So now we're going to edit mode. You can press tab, or you can go to the upper left-hand corner and press object mode or edit mode. And now we see all of the individual little faces and whatever and vertices. So we see our torus here. It's perfectly smooth, perfectly round, but real donuts, they're a little misshapen, and that's okay. So what you would normally think is to just grab a vertex. Don't follow this right now, just watch. You would think, how do I mold this torus the way I want it? Because this isn't working. This doesn't work. Like, that doesn't. So what you can do to make it more, I guess, smooth, press O or click this little circle up here. That's proportional editing. So so just highlight however many vertices you want and press the either O or the circle up here. Okay, that's where next. So now to move it, to kind of shape it a bit, you'll press G, and now you see this giant circle up here on your screen. If you pull it, you see it's a bit more, I guess, elastic. I don't know how to describe the movement going on here. And you can adjust the proportional editing with the scroll bar. I don't know what it is on trackpad.
It's just 2 fingers scrolling.
2 fingers. So repeat this process how many times you like, just to misshapen your donut a bit more. Make it look as, yeah,
Organic.
yeah. So you can just, I guess, to highlight what you want, I'm using a mouse, so it's different for a trackpad. Left click and hold, left click and drag, G, and just mess around with the shape. I don't know.
You can also click and hold shifts if you want, and then just click a bunch of other things if you want to select a bunch.
Okay, so next, when you have your donut, okay, you can turn off the proportional editing. So just click on the O again until it's gray. And you see, we have our donut shape, but not our colors. So go to the beach ball, the red beach ball for material. This down here is the red beach ball. Click it, and you'll see that you don't have anything yet. That's when you press new. Before you color anything, look at my mouse. Go. This is your viewport setting. Your viewport shading displays. Press the middle ball here.
One of the last two.
One of this where it's blue and my mouse is. Press that and you'll be able to see the color on your donut. Right now it's white, but we'll change that. Yeah, you add a new material.
Yeah, it's magic.
That's a beautiful color.
Thank you. Has everyone colored their donut? Okay, cool. So, but right now, it's not a donut, it's a bagel. We need to add frosting. How do we add frosting? So, go back to edit mode. So press tab, or go up here and click it. Press tab to go to edit mode, because we got to make the frosting now. Okay, this part might be a bit tricky, so I'll be a bit slow. So, when you're in edit mode, press face. Go to the upper left corner, and you see where it says vertex, edge, and face? Click face.
Or you can press 3.
Or 3.
I didn't know about that.
I didn't know about that either. Because now we want to select the top of our donut to make frosting. However, it's kind of hard to just select it because that's a pain and it's not very pretty, and it would be terrible to try to do it each individual square. So what you can do, look where my mouse is. You see where the middle is? Or the middle between these two rectangles? Press Option and left click. So now you got this ring around. If you don't have Option, then it's Alt. If you don't have Option, then it's Alt.
Yeah, click on the face first.
Okay.
So it's like Option, click.
Yeah.
Which way are you doing it?
It's like it was going around and.
Oh no, that's why I say you have to be careful. Like you're probably if it's going around, then you're probably like clicking down here when it should be in the middle of like the side. So repeat this process. Don't click anything yet. Press Shift. Hold Shift, Option or Alt, and click again.
Whoa.
Left click.
Hold your mouse on the line that you want to go around on.
Please.
When you do that, if that makes sense.
All right, just gonna move on. So now we have our frosting selected. So we're gonna make another material. Go to plus. Go to the right of the materials tab. And now go down to where it says new. And now we have, and now just select any color you want for the frosting. I'm gonna make mine's pink. Now press assign. All right, guys, we have our frosting, but this looks so flat. Like this doesn't look appetizing at all. So what we're gonna do, if you haven't deselected your frosting like I did, or if you have, just select your frosting again, or you can, yeah. Shift, Option, Alt, left click. Shift, Option, Alt, left click.
Oh wait. Oops. Okay, I got it.
So now you're gonna press right click. And you see this weird menu open up. No, don't subdivide it. We're gonna press extrude faces along normals. And now you move up a tiny bit.
Oh, no, I did too much.
Yeah, you don't do all that. You just
Control Z or Command Z.
You just go a little bit up. So there's a tiny little layer. So now, if you have your faces extruded, we're gonna do the loop, not loop cut. We're gonna, you see this little, you see this extra layer that we've lifted up? Do another round click, so option and left click. So now you have all of this selected. And you can assign, so right now, if you're on this step, your material is on the donut color. I should have named my material, so you should pretend that says donut and the other says frosting. So now, if you want to make this pink, or your whatever color your frosting is, you go to your frosting material and press assign. So now you have like, yeah, like a 3D glaze on top of your donut. Yay! It's a very basic low poly donut.
Should we tell them to make whatever they want?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How?
Yeah.
You said, right, this is a document or what?
I'm just putting my downloads. You just Control S to save the file. Yeah, you can.
Do you guys want to learn about lights? Do you want a demo of lights? Okay. It's fine. Okay, ready for lights? You guys can do whatever you want, but if you want to pay attention, here's the lighting. So go up to the top right to see like how the render is gonna look. Up there. Viewport shading rendered. And then Shift A. Whoa. Shift A, but it's not working. Well, I'm gonna go manual. You can also add objects up here. This will show up if you press Shift A. It's the same thing. So you go down to light, and then you can add, well, any kind of light. I'll do point. Yes, you need to be in object mode because it's a different object than the donut. Okay, so if you're in edit mode, whoa. Okay. Whoa. Okay. If you're in edit mode and you see all these dots, then you need to go into object mode. At the top left, you can change back to object. Yep. And then you can add a light. And then add a point or any kind of light that you want. I'm gonna do point because it's simple. And then if you want to move the point around, go to the left. There's a move button there, or you can press G, but I'm gonna do that for now because it's when you do transform like this instead of grab, then you can like be more precise about like what axis you're moving it on. So I'm gonna move the light up, moving the light up, and then if you go over here to data properties, you can change the exposure and the power. If you go to exposure and move, like if you hold it, whoa, okay. You can change the exposure so that you can see your object. It's working, okay.
Oh my god.
So there's a light there. You can add more lights around. I'm gonna add some more lights to round it out. Okay, I'm gonna add a camera. Shift A. Shift A. Go down to camera. And then move the camera kind of away from your object, or like try to position it around where you want it. And then you can test out the camera POV. Over there is to see from camera view. So that's what the camera looks like. But if you move around, the camera doesn't follow.
It's like a frame.
Yes, it's a frame.
Yes.
Okay, so in order to make your camera follow what you're seeing, go to the arrow up here. Do you see the arrow that's like by the XYZ axis? Click on that, and then it'll bring out these options. Do you see these options? Okay, so go down to view in these options. The view button, and then you can toggle camera to view. Any questions so far?
Do it again.
Okay. So when it's in default, you don't see that menu. So you have to go up to the arrow, the little tiny arrow next to the XYZ, and then you click on that, and it brings out all of this stuff. And then you go down to view, because normally you'll be an item, but you go down to the view tab, and then you go down to camera to view, and then you toggle that. So now when you move around, the camera frame follows where you're looking. So you can like position the camera however you want if you're in the camera view mode, which is over here, by the way. As a reminder. Yeah, and then you move around like your normal workspace, but now the camera follows wherever you move. So I like this position. So if you want to export this as a PNG or an image, so that you can share it and showcase it and send it into the Discord, possibly in submissions. So if you're ready with the camera and the lighting, and you see all this, then you can export it. You can go up to the top left where it says render. Render on the top left. And then you can press render image. And then a new tab will show up. And then sometimes it'll take a while to load. When the time stops, it means it's done loading. And then from here, you press image on the top left. And then save as. And you save as a download. You can name it. And then you can, I'm gonna name it donut. And then you can change the file format to whatever you want. I'm gonna do PNG because that's like an image. No, I'll do JPEG. Yeah, and then once you're done with that, you can save as image, and then you have your image that you can send it to submissions. In the Discord. I'm moving it to the drippy side.
Oh, good idea.
Show off the drips. That's the demo.
That's the thing that didn't work.
Feel free to try to experiment and make other stuff. Thanks for watching.
Thank you.
Thank you.